Now that the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series has finally been officially confirmed, I feel much more comfortable talking about it. It's been rumored so many times over the past 4 years that I think many fans have been fantasizing about the possibilities. I definitely have, so today I wanted to go through 7 things I hope to see in the series whenever it comes out. Number 1. I want to see the Jedi Master learn that Darth Vader survived the duel on Mustafar. I think there would be a lot to explore there because Obi-Wan would already be feeling guilt over failing Anakin and the fact that his apprentice caused so much pain in the galaxy. To see that he also allowed him to survive and continue spreading darkness can't be sitting well with him. We do already know that the story takes place 8 years after Episode 3, so I'll admit that feels like he would have heard about Darth Vader on the HoloNet or something by then. But the important thing is the exploration of Obi-Wan and how the knowledge affects him. Number 2. I want Obi-Wan to stay put on Tatooine. He has one job, one mission in life after Revenge of the Sith, and that is to protect Luke Skywalker, who he views as the chosen one according to Star Wars Rebels. I've heard rumors that the entire series is based on the line in Return of the Jedi that Obi-Wan once thought Vader was redeemable, like Luke does, and that we'll get to see Obi-Wan try again to face his old friend and bring him back, only to realize that he is beyond reach. If that happens, okay, I'll accept it. Ben's not perfect, and I can get behind the desire to try one more time to save Anakin. But I much prefer the idea that in A New Hope, Vader and Kenobi hadn't seen each other since Mustafar. Vader even says, "When I left you, I was but the learner, now I am the master." In my mind, Obi-Wan has been chilling, or I guess roasting, on Tatooine for 19 years, keeping watch over Luke. That feels right to me, and I think that's how the series should play out. But there are ways around this, like if Obi-Wan were kidnapped or something, or if my number 3 comes into play. I would love to see an Imperial Inquisitor in this series. If Obi-Wan can't face Vader, an Inquisitor would be a fitting villain. We know they've been on the hunt for Force-sensitive children for Project Harvester, so maybe word reaches the Empire of a kid on Tatooine with some power, and an Inquisitor comes and checks it out. An Inquisitor with knowledge of Luke is obviously no good, and if Obi-Wan had to leave the planet to eliminate a threat like that, then I'm on board with a little planet hopping. But if that doesn't happen and Obi-Wan's just sitting on Tatooine the whole time, then who could serve as an appropriate antagonist? My number 4 is some scum and villainy. Jabba is set up on Tatooine. Mos Eisley is crawling with lowlifes. There are plenty of enemies Obi-Wan could face, and he already has in the comics a bit. It would be tense and interesting to see the old Jedi have to face a bunch of violent criminals if he weren't allowed to use his lightsaber or even overtly use the Force. He's gotta stay undercover. Even if he can't draw unnecessary attention to Tatooine and Luke, I don't think Obi-Wan is the kind of person that could just stand around while Jabba the Hutt caused trouble across the planet for innocent people just trying to get by. For number 5, I want to see Owen and Beru Lars return in significant roles. Joel Edgerton has become a much bigger name since 2002 in Attack of the Clones, and he's a fantastic actor. We've already been given reason for his disdain of Obi-Wan in the comics, but there is room for more. I think it would be a waste to not revisit the character and his complicated relationship with Kenobi. We know less about Beru and her feelings about everything, but I think that's even more reason to bring Bonnie P.S. back as well. I hope I didn't just butcher her name, but seeing how she and Owen have handled Luke the past 8 years would be interesting and add so much more tragedy to their deaths in A New Hope. Speaking of returning actors, my number 6 is to see Obi-Wan spend some quality time with Qui-Gon and Yoda. We know he and Yoda can communicate through the Force, and we also know that Qui-Gon learns to make himself visible thanks to Claudia Gray's story and from a certain point of view. Let them chat. I love Qui-Gon, and this seems like the perfect time to bring him back. Obi-Wan is supposed to be learning how to become a Force ghost at this point anyway, so let Qui-Gon teach him. And finally, my number 7 is flashbacks to the Clone Wars or even beyond. We've seen some really insane leaps in technology recently with de-aging actors in the Marvel movies. I think Ewan could easily play his Clone Wars era character without that, and how awesome would it be to get some live-action versions of the Jedi armor? But what if we went back even further to some pre-Phantom Menace era storytelling? See another old mission with Qui-Gon, maybe explore his past with Satine. I think I'm getting into pipe dream territory here, and I imagine the story would be better served sticking in one era and just focusing on Kenobi then, but there is definitely a part of me that wants to see some live-action stories from his past. And that's my list. I'm positive you guys also have a list of your own, probably full of great ideas I didn't think of, so leave your hopes and dreams for the Kenobi series in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.